All right, guys, you should be done with your bell ringer at this point. I need y'all, after you're done with your bell ringer, to go ahead and put your Chromebooks up. Chromebooks are going up. Get something to write with out.
You said wait, you said Chromebooks up.
Yeah, no Chromebooks today. I want old school. Old school. No Chromebooks. No Chromebooks. Put them up. No Chromebooks. No, my bad. No Chromebooks. All right, today we're playing some bingo. Ready to go basketball? All right. Now pay attention, all right? Listen to what I'm saying. The winner of the bingo game, I'm going to let you choose a grade that you have missing. That's a daily grade, and I will give you a 100.
Yo, please let me win this. Like, all jokes aside.
No, I can't do that. Can't do a test grade. I will also give you some even dollars for winning. Yep, I'm doubling down today. All right. No, I'm second place. I don't have my phone. I'll just look at my computer real quick and see what time.
See, that would be, I would have got you.
Okay, this is what I need though. Alright, so before we start though, I have to make sure that we all know the same things, right? I don't wanna go through these questions and y'all stare at me with a blank face, okay? So I'm gonna go through, some of it's from that video that we watched, some of it's from me going over it, all right? And then there might be a few terms that we talk about before we start because you don't know, all right? Because there's a lot of terms, right? There's like 30-something terms on here, okay? So we're gonna kind of revisit them, make sure we know them all. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. You're not gonna write anything on your bingo card yet. Okay, nothing on your bingo card. What you are going to do, I guess I'm, saying that, and then I'm going to tell you to write on it. But the one thing you are going to write right now is you're going to write in the middle square, or actually in whatever square you want. How about that? You're going to put 3. You get 1 free square you pick. But most people put it in the middle because that's the most likely to be used, right?
I got one.
Okay. Okay. So, all right, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to go through these terms, and y'all are going to make sure that you know them. This is why you need some paper, all right? So you have these terms down, or at least you have an idea, okay? These kind of go with your notes. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to scratch out a couple of ones that we're not going to need for our test, so there's no reason for you to have to really remember them, okay? Number 1, the writs of assistance. You don't need that one. It's on that list.
What is that?
Writs of assistance. The next one that we don't need is your olive branch petition. We're not going to talk about that, so I'm not going to worry about it today. All right. You don't need Thomas Paine. We'll talk about him a little bit, but you don't. He's not a focus, so I'm not going to worry about him today. All right, just so we're on the same page, let's actually talk about a few of these, okay? I'll go just write down the list. You should know from our causes of the revolution slides, you should know about the French and Indian War, right? Know about the French and Indian War. Just a reminder, the French and Indian War was the war that kind of was what made the British feel like they had to tax the Americans. All right, they went to war with the French and the Indians at the same time, and it cost a lot of money. All right, and because of that, the British ended up starting to tax the Americans. All right, so you need to know the French and Indian War. You need to know the Proclamation of 1763. Can anyone remind me what that was? It had something to do with the Appalachian Mountains. Does anyone remember that? Yeah, the colonists couldn't settle past the Appalachian Mountains, right? That's exactly right. All right, you need to know the Sugar Act. That's pretty easy. What's that going to tax? Sugar, right? Molasses, sugar, right? All right, the Stamp Act. All right, the Stamp Act pretty much said there had to be some type of stamp on every type of official writing, so newspapers, legal documents, anything like that. That would be the Stamp Act. All right, remember, don't be filling your boxes in yet, because I'm not going to go in this order when it's time to play bingo. Okay. The Townshend Act. The Townshend Act. That was the act that put taxes on things like glass, all right, and paper. All right, can anyone tell me what a militia is? That's kind of a common sense vocab word. Yeah, so, yeah, like what? Not evil, that's not necessarily the right word. That's not what I'm looking for. So, I'm gonna call Ed. Ed, you know what a militia is?
A small group of people armed.
Yeah, a small group of armed people. Militia.
We said militia.
Oh, malicious.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I'm sorry, that's my mistake. Yeah, militia. All right, so that's a small group of armed people. All right, so like each state had their own militia. They had their own like small army. It's like an untrained army is kind of what it is. Okay, an unofficial army. All right. What about a boycott? That's another common sense one. We know what a boycott is. What's a boycott? Yeah, they're not going to do something or buy something. Did you have something you wanted to add, Jordan? You sure? Okay. All right. What about propaganda? That's another one that we've heard, you know, just in everyday life. What's propaganda? Yeah, it's influence, right? It's information to influence people. All right. Okay, moving on. What about, have we heard the phrase no taxation without representation?
Yeah.
We've heard that, right? That's a pretty famous American quote. Okay, the Sons of Liberty. All right, the Sons of Liberty. All right, that was a protest group. What's a really, really famous protest group in the United States right now? Black Lives Matter, right? That's a great comparison, okay? Sons of Liberty is just an organized protest group. That's all it is, okay? Just like Black Lives Matter is an organized group, it's the same thing. All right, moving on, we need to know what a Minuteman is. A Minuteman is someone who can be ready to fight. He can have all of his, you know, uniform and his gun and all of his ammo in less than a minute. All right, they're known as Minutemen. All right, next is, I'm sorry, for Sons of Liberty, we need to know that the Sons of Liberty were founded by Sam Adams. I don't think I've taught that to you yet. But Samuel Adams is the guy who founded the Sons of Liberty. You know him personally? Good working relationship. All right, someone tell me, I'm gonna call on Saul for this one. What's the Boston Massacre, Saul? Do you remember?
I know this.
Yeah, the British what?
Bree wanna answer.
You wanna jump in and help?
I think I know this one.
All right, what is it?
That's whenever they had killed like 6 people.
Yeah, it's exactly right. So
She was at it.
there was a couple people, they were like throwing snowballs at the British soldiers, right? They were throwing snowballs at the British soldiers and stuff like that, and all of a sudden the British soldiers shot at them.
Yeah.
Alright, now, there's one guy who's like super famous that died in that kind of, conflict. Do you know his name? No, that's not
I got his name.
McKeever. Alright, Crispus Attucks, you remember him? That was the African American sailor that died in the yeah, right? Okay. Crispus, yep, Crispus Attucks. That's another word on there, Crispus Attucks. You need to know that he died in the Boston Massacre, okay? Crispus Attucks.
If you can't say the word, you can say Christmas. We know
Christmas.
it's
No, Crispus, I'm sorry. Okay, almost done, guys. Stay with me, and we'll get to our bingo. I know y'all are. Alright, we need to know the first Continental Congress. That was really easy. That's just the first time American colonists met to talk about all the taxes.
Teachers and students, pardon this interruption. At this time, all second block Career Academy students should report to the bus room. All second block Career Academy students should report to the bus room.
Okay, what did the TX tax? Key, right? That's right. Yes. Yep. So do you? Paul was not, so I'll talk about Paul right now, okay? So, Lexington and Concord is known as the shot heard around the world, okay? It was the first shot that was fired technically in the American Revolution. That's Lexington and Concord. It's like the first small battle, kind of, okay? Paul Revere is really famous. Paul Revere, we've talked about him, right? He's famous for saying, the British are coming, right? The British are coming. On his horse, yep, rode his horse and said that. Yep. Alright, so we're almost done. We know the difference between a patriot and a loyalist, right? That's pretty common sense. Alright, and then mercantilism. Have we talked about that?
Yes.
Yes, we have.
Yep.
We talked about that, remember from our slides?
Yep.
Right? The British were very, the British are very famous for mercantilism. It's where you weaponize trade, right? It's where you use trading to make yourself more powerful. Okay. Let's see. Almost done. We know Paul Revere. We know who George Washington is. Hopefully,
Yes.
we know. Yes.
So, I said the word
Mercantilism.
That's
Yep.
what we talk about yesterday,
That-
how somebody would sell something and then somebody else would come and try to sell something, but they would have to sell it. to somebody.
Exactly right. Yeah, where you don't let someone sell the same stuff you're selling, right? That's mercantilism. All right. Do we remember who wrote the Declaration of Independence? All right, it was Thomas Jefferson, right? If I can get to it. All right. So Paul Revere. We talked about Paul Revere. We know. We're not going to worry about Thomas Paine, like I said. Let's see. Benedict Arnold. If you hear Benedict Arnold, you think of traitor. That guy was a traitor. He betrayed the Americans and ended up fighting for the British. All right, and then the last one that we're going to talk about, the last one. We know who Benjamin Franklin is, right? He had the kite and all that good stuff. But we need to know who Patrick Henry is. We haven't talked about him. This is like the third thing we haven't talked about, and I'm bringing it up. Patrick Henry said, "Give me liberty or give me death." You've heard that quote before, right? You've heard that before? All right, so liberty just means freedom. And he said that. He said, "Give me liberty or give me death." All right, so what you're doing now, all right, don't do it in the same order as your friends, because then you'll both win and I can't give out the prize. You want it to be different. I need you in whatever order you want to use the vocab and fill in the rest of the squares on your bingo, okay? So like maybe in one spot you put patriot, in one spot you put loyalist. Use the little phrases at the bottom to fill out your bingo board.
Wait, so you just put these here?
Yes, yeah, in whatever order you want to. Okay, so like pick something off of here right here. The sugar act. Now put the sugar act anywhere on there. Alright, now I can only give y'all like 4 or 5 minutes to fill this out, because if we want to play a game or two, I need to hurry. Okay? Fill out the whole board.
And just choose whatever you want.
Choose whatever you want. Don't repeat it. Don't put the same thing twice. That's not how you fucking, fill it out however you want, and then I'm gonna ask questions, and you're gonna,
Oh.
yep.
He did.
Okay, so so we can play tomorrow as well. So we can play more than one day. I'm gonna hand you paper clips, all right, and you can put the paper clips on your game board. Okay, that way you're not having to like scratch out when you answer a question. Okay, so I'm gonna come around and give paper clips. All that I ask, guys, is please do not
These are a lot of people.
Well, it's for all three, all right.
What we gonna do?
You're gonna cover when you answer a question. You're going to cover that question so you know that it's that spot is taken. Okay. I need you to understand though. Please do not take my paper clips. If y'all take my paper clips, that means I can't play with my other classes today. Did you say good? I'll knock you out if you do. Hey, language. Thank you. For everybody, guys.
John Adams is a dude that has a,
Give you a couple more, I know.
Mr. Chuck,
Yes, ma'am.
John Adams is the one with the apple and the.
Oh, okay, so I didn't cover John Adams. Good point out. All right, John Adams is different than Sam Adams. Let's not confuse him. All right, John Adams is the one of the very first founding fathers who said America should have their own government. Okay, America should have their own government. That's a good point out. I did forget to go over him. Thank you, Ron. As many games as I can play. I don't mind giving out demon dollars to y'all.
No, we said something great. We talking great.
Oh, we talking grades? Talking grades.
Yep.
I'll give out up to 3. How about that?
Okay. I think we should do 4. I said
4?
5. It's 5. Make it even. Make it even.
That's not 5 is not an even number.
I think it.
There you go.
4 is an even
No.
number.
Two, 4, 6, 8. Yeah.
Did you really do that, Joe?
No. I wanted to see what number I wanted to choose. If you can do 6.
Who is John Hancock?
John Hancock is the guy that's known for his signature. We talked about him on Monday. He's really famous for putting his huge signature on the Declaration of Independence. All right. He's not the author, but he did sign it. He wanted the British to know that he was not afraid. Because remember, at this time, if the Americans would have lost the war, if the colonists would have lost the war, everyone whose name was on that Declaration of Independence would have been killed. Because they would have been traitors. So,
Are you excited?
a traitor to more obvious names, I guess.
Yeah.
But
You're gonna be there.
that was hurtful.
What?
Hurtful. That other table saying I won't be. They make my class board.
Yes, you will. You're gonna be like, Andy, I heard the coach shit like our senior year. You're gonna be like,
I'll come back for y'all's graduation if you want me to. I'll come see y'all.
okay.
This is nice to meet you too. You said you're gonna come watch us graduate.
That was my favorite teacher. I started being my favorite teacher.
What's up?
What you doing?
Thanks.
Why are you writing all this?
Yeah, I'll come see you.
Yeah, she's doing very well for me. I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Wait, so this is what
They can get all their guns and all that ready in under a minute. They can be ready to fight in 1 minute or less. Give me about 1 more minute, guys. 1 more minute. I am. Yep. Someone who lets their kids go get McDonald's and move. Oh, my bad. My bad.
You won't be used.
I definitely would. I may or may not have gotten in trouble for the same exact thing in high school. That's why it was funny, man. We good, guys? We ready?
Yes, we're ready. I got one more.
One more. One more. I don't know if I'm on that. You're at Rome. My last school, I did it all the time. I would, like, they'd be like, push ship, here's, $20 for your DoorDash this for me, and I would. No, I'm saying their rules are different here.
We still order food, what they gonna do?
Okay, so, let's go ahead and get started, right? Let's go ahead and see if anyone's gonna get a free 100. Okay, so, this is what I need, okay? I need you to pay close attention, and I need you not to yell anything out, okay? Not to yell anything out.
Bingo, right?
Oh, you can yell bingo out, yes.
It's right here.
Alright, so, is everyone ready? I'm just making sure we're all good back here. Okay. The very first one I'm going to ask about, let's see. You put the paperclip on it. That's what the paperclip is for.
You just want to say the name, right?
I'm gonna tell you that, I'm gonna ask you a question and you gotta figure out what the answer is.
Oh, man.
So like, the first one, and don't yell it out, an American colonist who favored independence, like, what were they called? There's an NFL team with that name.
I know it.
I just said not to yell it out, man.
That's not fair.
Alright. Alright. Now, as a class, we've all had a second. What's the answer? Patriot, right? Yeah, good. Alright. Alright. See if they have enough words. Might be able to give you like a speech. Okay, he is known for saying the British are coming, the British are coming. All right, as a group, who am I talking about?
Paul Revere.
Paul Revere, good. Okay, this man was an African American man who was killed in the Boston Massacre.
Oh, man.
African American man who was murdered during the Boston Massacre. All right, who is it? Yes, Crispus Attucks. Yes, right. Good.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Okay, next one. He is famous for saying, "Give me liberty or give me death." Give me liberty or give me death.
I forgot what that word was.
No, I know this, oh, no, this
It's not Paul Revere. Alright, who is the guy who said that? It was Patrick Henry. Patrick Henry. Good job, Jordan.
Good job, Jordan. I ain't writing down.
Okay, next. Alright, it's the theory or the idea that you can weaponize trade.
You guys supposed to say that,
If you didn't, you might not have written all of them, guys, because there's not enough spots.
Y'all, I'm already close to bingo.
That's awesome. What's the answer? Yeah, mercantilism, right? Okay, a military force made up of ordinary citizens trained to fight. A military force made up of ordinary citizens. Can y'all tell me what it is? Militia.
Where you see that at?
Alright, next. Civilians who are ready to fight in 1 minute or less. My favorite spot, that's a free spot. Okay, this place is known as the shot heard around the world. The shot heard around the world. It's the very first conflict, alright, the very first engagement of the revolution. The war for independence.
Bro, I'm finna.
Okay, this act taxed all printed materials. All printed materials. What's the answer to this? It was the Stamp Act. The Stamp Act.
Oh, no, wait, stop. So the one with the
Townsend?
Townsend, that was for glass and paper, right?
Glass and paper, yeah, not, but the stamp and printing's kind of the same thing. Okay, it's you're
I
stamping
need one
something.
more or two more, so let's.
Okay,
Yeah,
alright.
it's supposed to have a stamp on it.
This war is the reason for all the taxes. It wasn't the Revolutionary War, because that happened after the taxes. But this war happened, and it caused all these taxes.
Oh, I know this one.
What's the answer?
French Indian.
French and Indian War.
I will write down. We need some more paper clips.
I
Please.
think I'm about an hour. Not yet, thank you.
Put them in the middle and y'all for real, unattractive to you. Were you on paper clip? I am?
Yes.
First president, my guy.
Me too. One more or two more.
Okay, this event was a fight between colonists and British on the streets of Boston. This event was a fight between colonists and British on the streets of Boston. Remember, British soldiers fired
No.
What's the answer? The Boston Massacre, good. We had no Paul Revere, yes. Okay. You gotta pay attention, girl. Alright, an organized group of protesters. They are organized by Sam Adams. An organized group of protesters who were organized by Sam Adams. Does anyone know who this is? The Sons of Liberty. Good job, Ed. You got bingo?
Yeah.
Let's see, might have a winner.
You're lying, Kev.
Might have a winner.
What I got left on there?
Alright, where are we at? Alright, did we do Paul Revere?
Yeah.
Did we do Sons of Liberty?
Yeah.
Did we do Militia?
Yeah.
Patriot?
Yeah.
What did I say? Lexington and Concord? Yeah. Alright, he won bingo.
Wait, how many do you have to have?
5 in a row, 5 in a straight line.
Alright, let's keep playing, let's keep playing, we still got 3 more.
Okay, what time is it?
You don't need back to keep on, but we playing some bell ring.
Yeah.
I did great.
Alright, if y'all wanna play one more game, I'll play one more game.
Come on, we
Clear the
just
board.
keep going, we just keep going.
No, clear the board.
Oh, play no more
You
then.
don't want your free
I
100?
can say
No,
George
Kevin, just keep
Washington.
going.
No. Clear the board. Clear it,
It don't
clear it,
work
clear it,
like
clear it.
that.
It should've kept going. Everybody keep going and bingo coach you.
Nope.
And I
You say bingo, it's like, okay.
And
And
then
then
you
keep going, yeah.
Not on, this is Coach Chip bingo.
Look it up on YouTube. Okay, just start the game.
This will be on YouTube and you'll see Coach Chip bingo from there.
Okay, I'm recording. You gotta record it.
Alright, so let's get started. Alright, to refuse to buy items in order to protest.
I know this not it. I know this not boycott. And that's what I needed to win.
That's what you needed? I'm sorry, Jordan, that's terrible.
That's even when it kept going, I want you to say that bingo. I'm finna cry. So,
Okay, ideas or information intentionally spread to harm or help a cause.
I think I know this one.
It's to influence your thoughts. It's news spread. What's the answer, Jordan? Propaganda. Propaganda. All right. Let's see. Sam Adams. Oh, I just said it. There you go. 3-1.
Sam Adams.
What did Sam Adams do? Someone tell
Sam
me.
Adams, he was
He founded something.
He founded the Sons of Liberty.
Yes, he did. He founded the Sons of Liberty. Yeah, if you have Sam Adams, go ahead and do that. I gave it away. All right. This person was an American colonist who betrayed the American army. I betrayed the American army. All right.
Wait. What's the answer? Yeah, is we right?
Benedict Arnold. Yes. Benedict Arnold.
I got that.
All right, a phrase that's spoken saying that we don't want to pay unless someone is. Yes. Yep. Say it out loud. Say it loud and proud. I can't hear you.
Say it
louder.
louder.
Say it. No taxation without representation. Good.
Come on, coach.
All right. The group of people who were loyal to Britain, not to
That's what I needed to know.
the new country.